Lily loved her grandmother dearly. They shared a bond that was unbreakable, filled with warmth and affection. She especially loved visiting her grandmother's ancient house, a place that seemed to hold secrets in every corner. It was filled with wonderful old things, each item telling a story of its own. The house was like a museum of memories.
On one visit, her grandmother had a special surprise waiting for her, something that would change her life forever. A beautiful Victorian dollhouse stood in the corner of the living room, its intricate details catching Lily's eye immediately.
This was mine when I was a little girl, Lily. It's been in our family for generations. Now, I want you to have it. Take good care of it, my dear.
The dollhouse was exquisite, a miniature masterpiece. It was like a tiny world frozen in time. It had tiny furniture, delicate dishes, and even miniature paintings on the wall, each piece crafted with incredible detail. Lily fell instantly in love with the dollhouse. It was as if she had discovered a new best friend. She couldn't wait to play with it, her imagination running wild with possibilities.
Lily spent the rest of the day arranging and rearranging the furniture, creating different scenes and stories. She gave each of the dollhouse residents names and personalities, bringing the tiny world to life. The dollhouse quickly became her most treasured possession, a source of endless joy and creativity. She took it everywhere with her, never wanting to be apart from her new, magical world.
As the days passed, strange things began to happen. Lily would hear faint whispers coming from the dollhouse. They were soft and indistinct, like the rustling of leaves. She would dismiss them as her imagination.
One night, she woke to a cold chill in the air. The dollhouse glowed with an eerie light. The dolls were no longer in their arranged positions. They seemed to be huddled together. They were staring at Lily with accusing eyes.
Lily told her parents about the whispers and the moving dolls. They dismissed her concerns. They told her it was just her imagination running wild. But Lily knew better. Something was wrong. The dollhouse was changing. Lily's nightmares started subtly. They always featured the dollhouse. The miniature people would beckon her closer. Their tiny voices pleaded for her help. Their pleas quickly turned to angry demands.
One night, Lily woke up in a cold sweat. She ran to the dollhouse. She gasped when she saw it. The dolls were moving. Their tiny limbs jerked back and forth. Their porcelain faces were twisted in grotesque expressions.
Lily watched in horror as the dolls acted out a gruesome scene. They smashed the tiny furniture. They ripped each other limb from limb. The dollhouse was no longer a toy. It was a stage for something dark and sinister. Lily found it increasingly difficult to distinguish between reality and nightmare. Every time she closed her eyes, she was pulled into a world where the lines between the two blurred, leaving her disoriented and scared. She was trapped in a terrifying cycle. Each night the nightmares grew more vivid, more real, making her dread the moment she would fall asleep. It seemed to center around the dollhouse. This seemingly innocent toy had become the epicenter of her fears, a gateway to her darkest dreams. Her days were haunted by the ever-present whispers. These ghostly voices followed her everywhere, making her question her sanity. Her nights were plagued by terrifying visions. Each dream was more horrifying than the last, filled with shadows and eerie figures that seemed all too real.
She tried to confide in her parents again. Desperation filled her voice as she recounted the horrors she faced each night. They grew increasingly impatient with her. Their frustration was evident, and Lily felt more alone than ever.
Stop this foolishness, Lily. The dollhouse is just a toy. Her parents' words cut deep, dismissing her fears as mere childish imagination. There's nothing to be afraid of. They tried to reassure her, but their words felt hollow, unable to reach the depths of her terror.
But Lily was terrified. The dollhouse was no longer a source of comfort. It loomed in her room, a constant reminder of the nightmares that awaited her. It had become her prison. She felt a growing sense of dread every time she looked at it. The once beloved toy now held her captive in a world of fear. She knew deep down that something sinister was taking root within its walls. The dollhouse was no longer just a toy. It was a vessel for her darkest fears, a place where nightmares came to life.
Desperate for help, I reached out to my grandmother. I told her about the whispers, the moving dolls, and the terrifying nightmares.
But her grandmother didn't offer comfort or reassurance. She only looked at Lily with a mixture of pity and fear.
The dollhouse, it has a hold on you now, Lily, just like it had a hold on me.
Lily's blood ran cold. Her grandmother's words confirmed her worst fears. The dollhouse was not just haunted, it was evil.
I felt a chill run down my spine as the line went dead. I realized with growing horror that I was utterly alone. No one believed me. No one could help me. I knew I had to get rid of the dollhouse. I couldn't live with it any longer. One afternoon, while my parents were out, I decided to destroy it. I grabbed a hammer and approached the dollhouse.
As she raised the hammer above her head, the lights flickered and died. The dollhouse began to shake violently. The whispers grew into menacing growls.
I hesitated. Fear threatened to paralyze me, but I knew I had to be strong. I wouldn't let the dollhouse control me any longer. I swung the hammer with all my might.
Section 7, consumed by darkness.
The hammer shattered against an invisible barrier. It bounced back, knocking me to the ground. I lay there, stunned, as the darkness around me seemed to press in. The whispers became screams. The air grew heavy, suffocating me. I tried to crawl away, but an unseen force held me down. The shadows from the dollhouse stretched and twisted, reaching out to me like grasping claws. They wrapped themselves around me, pulling me closer.
Lily thrashed and screamed, but no sound escaped her lips. The darkness swallowed her whole. She vanished into the dollhouse, leaving no trace behind except the faint echo of her terror. Section 8, no escape.
I found myself standing inside the dollhouse. I was surrounded by the miniature furniture and the menacing dolls. They were no longer inanimate figures. They were alive, their eyes glowing with malevolent delight. The dolls advanced on me, their tiny voices now a chorus of menacing whispers. They taunted me, mocked me, and promised me an eternity of suffering within the dollhouse walls.
Lily tried to run, but her legs wouldn't move. She was trapped, her fate sealed. She was one of them now, a prisoner of the haunted dollhouse, doomed to relive the same horrifying moments for all eternity. Section 9, Forever Haunted. This is a tale of a family forever changed by the unseen and the unknown, a story that still sends shivers down the spine of anyone who hears it.
We returned home one fateful night to find the front door wide open, an ominous sign that something was terribly wrong. The hammer lay abandoned on the floor, as if dropped in a hurry, a silent witness to the chaos that had unfolded. The dollhouse sat ominously in the corner, silent and seemingly innocuous, yet it held a dark secret within its tiny walls. But we knew with a chilling certainty that our daughter was gone. The realization hit us like a cold wave, freezing us in place. We searched for Lily, calling her name into the darkness, but she was never found. The night seemed to stretch on forever, filled with our desperate cries and the eerie silence that followed. The dollhouse remained in our possession, a constant reminder of our loss and a chilling testament to the unseen forces that lurk in the shadows. It was as if the dollhouse itself was mocking us, holding on to its secrets.
Some say that if you listen closely, you can still hear Lily's faint cries for help emanating from the dollhouse. The whispers are faint, almost like a distant echo, but unmistakable. They say her tormented spirit is trapped inside, forever haunted by the sinister inhabitants and the evil that resides within its walls. The dollhouse, once a simple toy, had become a prison for her soul, a place where darkness reigns and hope is but a distant memory.
Section 10. A Warning Unheeded. The haunted dollhouse stands as a chilling reminder that some things are best left untouched. It's a warning to those who would seek to possess objects with dark histories, a testament to the power of fear and the insidious nature of evil. The dollhouse waits patiently for its next victim. It's a silent sentinel of terror, a portal to a nightmare from which there is no escape. Be careful what you wish for the things that go bump in the night are often more real than we dare to believe. And sometimes the most innocent-looking toys can harbor the darkest of secrets.